Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new, welcome, and I hope you like what you find here. These are going to be your general readings for the month of July. I do want to mention again, like I did in my last mid-month reading, that the Uranus 7-year projections are available for you. Tremendous amount of information coming through. That information is down below for you. And these readings in July are general, so if they don't make sense to you, listen to your other signs. I don't want to keep this intro too long. Keep in mind that sometimes certain things will make sense to you right away, and sometimes none of it will make sense to you right away. From what I gather, from hearing from you, it almost always makes sense to you at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. So do listen to it again. If it doesn't make sense to you, I do want to stress that I don't know what it is, but in the month of July, there's this incredible feeling of release. So many of you will feel that. You may have been going through it and feeling it already, but there's a tremendous amount of energy. I feel like it's trying to push through us, which will catapult many of us forward into various new ways and various new beginnings. So overall, it feels very exciting. It might be scary for some of you because the newness also represents not knowing what's to come. So there might be a lot of surprises too. But generally speaking, there is this uplifted feeling of excitement, but also I don't know what's going to happen. And not because it's bad, but because it's I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what waits for me at the end of this journey, whatever that is. So do keep in mind that this is general. For private session, of course, that information is down below for you. Thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. If you wish to comment how this connects with you, I read every single one of them. Please do. I would love that. And above all, whoever you are and you have any birthdays in July, happy birthday to you. And have a great month of July, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye. Hello, beautiful Pisces. This is going to be a reading for the month of July 2018. Let me start off with some channeled messages first. But first, I would like to tell you how I feel about you. And I feel an expanded awareness of gratitude. Whatever that means to you, whatever it's supposed to mean to you, I'm supposed to say it very loud and clear. And that message actually came up several times, but it's a feeling that I have. It's a feeling of what I want to say, a total surrender to the magnificence called life. Now, some of you will say, Joanna has lost her freaking marbles. I'm struggling with this. How the hell is... But that's just it. It's to be able to tap into the sense of gratitude where things are not going well is what allows us to move forward in a way that is a little bit less discomforting or less uncomfortable. So that is what I want to say first and foremost. I feel it. He says, explain to them what the feeling is. It feels like I'm very excited and I'm waiting for something amazing to happen, and I just can't wait. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I'm so excited because I know something is coming. It's that kind of a feeling. So if there is nothing in your life that makes you feel quite that way drastically, like I just said, find something small that will make you feel that, at least to some extent. It's hugely important. Why? Because gratitude breeds more gratitude. I don't like the word breeds, but gratitude attracts more gratitude. Gratitude creates more gratitude. Gratitude allows you to pause and say, thank you for what I do have versus what I don't. And I don't know about you, but the people I've been working with, including myself, for the last, 15 years, we have a tendency to focus on the things we don't have or the things we don't want. And the need for gratitude is important. And they actually set gratitude first. So, he says, explain to them why it's so important. Okay, for those of you who may not know what that means or are bored with the idea, or you roll your eyes about this whole idea of gratitude, it's important for me to explain how it works. Gratitude is a feeling that evokes a certain vibration. It's energetic. It's an energy that's being created by you. what you emit out of you as a frequency that is you will have a tendency to attract the same. So if you are always thinking of negative things, notice negative things will find their way to you quite frequently. And then it's a vicious cycle because you're stuck in this pattern of shit coming to you all the time, and shit is in front of you, so you can't miss shit, pardon my French, and it's a vicious cycle. So it's about stopping that chain of whatever addictive feeling or behavior and focus on gratitude. Gratitude, hugely important. It's important for all of us as far as I'm concerned, but especially for you, sign of Pisces. Then they showed me that it's also going to be a time of letting go, of hanging on. So if you have been hanging on for dear life, if you have been hanging on for something, but in all honesty, it is a futile process. In other words, hanging on just buys you time, but it's inevitable. You are choosing to let go of hanging on. Now, this can be an action, or it can be an understanding within yourself and a choice you make within yourself that at some point you're going to follow up with actions to put it actionable, put it into motion. But that comes for you. I also heard clearly organization, and the moment I heard it, I felt several things. Organization of thoughts. So it is about you organizing, thinking, focusing, refocusing, analyzing. So it's your thoughts, but it's also about organizing your life. And if your life is in disarray, or if an aspect of your life seems to evade you because it's constantly something is going on, it is time to put some effort into organizing whatever that is for you, whether through the process of elimination of what no longer serves you, or reshifting and changing how you look at things, or just putting different things in place in order to make something better. But need for organization, hugely important. And then I heard someone is not listening. It's almost like somebody was knocking on my head and saying, anybody home? Anybody home? So a couple of things. You're not listening, and that message actually comes up. So if you're not listening, it's important to listen. And somebody's not hearing you, or somebody's not listening. So there's a message around hearing and listening. I also hear empty feeling. It's almost like, anybody home? Hello, anybody home? There's a sense of withdrawal, which comes to me from a sense of feeling empty, not satisfied. And I can see why that's being said to me right now, because one of the things that is at the very end, and I'm going to say it now, what's really important is for you to create something in your life that will make you feel happy, but you have to make that happen. It's not going to come to you. So there's a need to just decide to be happy. Just decide to be happy, because happiness is a frame of mind. It's a condition of a mind, and it comes from an inside source. Yes, it is often supported by outside, but we can have all the things in the world that we think are exclusively amazing, yet feel empty inside. So proof is in the pudding. It's not what you have that makes you happy. So hugely important. And important to focus on, April for some of you was very important. Obviously, I don't know why. For some of you, you might have seen something, or you saw something important. For some reason, April. For some of you, this is going to mean something. April was important. I don't know what year. I'm assuming it's 2018, but it doesn't have to be. April is an important month. Then I saw the color red, and right away it told me that many of you will be focusing on your finances for safe and security. But more than anything, it is talking to me about the first chakra, which is the root chakra, which is all about safety, stability. When our life is disorganized, it is often connected to our first and second chakra. Okay, so pay attention to that. So red, wearing color red, doing any kind of mantras for first chakra. Look up any sort of meditation for balancing first chakra. Whatever you can read up on first chakra, it's important because it's grounding. Grounding also is what makes us feel stable, and I think I already said that. And then I heard red perfume. So there is a perfume, I believe it's called fragrance called red. I think it's Elizabeth garden, if I'm not mistaken. I could be red door. So I heard the word perfume. Some of you have perfume that starts with the word red, or the word red is in it. Some of you have perfume that is color red-ish. That's weird. Well, not really, but it's interesting. And for some of you, perfume is actually grounding. And when I thought about this, I thought, yeah, that makes sense, because you connect to your senses. And I'm a Taurus. I love fragrances, and there's not enough of them for me. But it grounds me. It connects me to my senses. I also saw rose as being very important. Whatever that means to you, whether it's a symbol, whether it's a sign, whether it's somebody trying to communicate to you, I'm supposed to say the word rose. It could also be a name, Rosalie, Roseanne, something, Rosemary, something about rose is very important. So that's what I received as far as channeled information. Then I said, show me energies, where, what's going on. You have the shark. When a shark shows up, it is always to say, what is it that you're not saying? What's lurking deep inside of you that you are hiding, that if left to its own devices, in other words, not being addressed, it can bite you in the ass. Pardon my French. So this speaks to those of you who are not allowing things to come forward. This could be things that you are not communicating to somebody else. These could be things that you are not allowing yourself to see or hear about you that are perhaps not very good for you. And although they may not be obvious, they will be obvious to you. So there's a need to pay attention to what needs to come out, and there is a bit of a resistance with this. Then you have the Panther. When I asked for this card, I said, what do they need more of? And you have the Panther. So Panther is an energy that comes in and says, there is disarray in your life, and there are things that are no longer serving you. I'm going to come in fast and furious. I'm going to take care of it. I'm very ferocious. I'll do it fast. It may be it may not be comfortable, but at least it's going to be over and done with. So this is a message for you I need to look at things that perhaps feel uncomfortable to address, but are fundamentally no longer serving you. He's asking me to say why I'm talking about quote unquote negative things. He says they want to know why you're not talking about positive things. I feel those are positive things. These are moments, or these are messages that are meant to help you think, that are meant to kind of get you out of your rut, that are meant to make you go, oh, okay, maybe that's what I need to do. They're meant to kind of push you forward. And if we always talk about flowery stuff, then, well, first of all, it can't happen if we're holding ourselves back, number one. But number two, then we're not really addressing the key components that we're struggling with. And I think that's, at least for me, that is the biggest thing. Because when we can finally get down to the nitty-gritty, to the things that we don't want to address, then we can finally deal with it and move forward in a much more pronounced way, if you will. So there's a need to declutter, and which is again organization, and get rid of things that are not serving you any longer. Things as, what kind of things? People, situations, clothes, clutter, whatever you consider clutter, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual. Then you have 3 tarot cards. You have King of Wands in reverse, you have Page of Pentacles in reverse, and you have the Moon. So this is all connecting to the month of July. For those of you who don't know me well, if you are new to my channel, I am not a tarot reader. Yes, I look at tarot cards and I see things, but they're not typically the traditional tarot meaning. Some symbology I'm learning, but I'm not a tarot reader. So if it doesn't connect with you as far as your meaning of the card, whatever you take from it, it's up to you. And whatever you take from it is valid for you. So first and foremost, it shows me that when it comes to your career, there seems to be a sense of disappointment. That's what I want to say. For some of you, you are dealing with a person who is aggressive, someone who is, I want to say the words aggressive. This could be your boss, this could be your spouse, this could be a significant person in your life. There is some sort of an aggression that's you're being exposed to. That's going to be for some of you, not for all of you. But for majority of you, it is a feeling of stagnation. Now, the feeling of stagnation comes to me in various ways. It's two things predominantly. Career, because there seems to be lack of focus. Page of Pentacles in reverse is showing me that there's lack of long-term focus, or being stuck, or being too driven with short-term goals in mind. And the other one is a relationship where there is lack of vision for the future, or you can't see your future in it. So that's being shown. And the moon is telling me that it's time to look at those things that are uncomfortable. So here's the shark again. Shark is the same energy. What's lurking deep inside that's not coming out? What are you hiding? What are you not saying? What are the things that you are keeping to yourself? And what are the murky waters you're trying to avoid? When the moon is out, we see shadows of ourselves. But when we are confronted with the shadow, we can then realize, or at least learn, what this is all about. So the shadows really is aspects of us that are fear-based, things that we don't want to see, things that we choose not to communicate for whatever reason, things we choose not to deal with because we're afraid. Now remember, you have a Panther that comes in. Okay, there's clearly something in your life that ain't working. You're going to do it, or I'm going to do it for you. It's going to be fast and furious, but at least I'll get it done. So this is to do with your environment. Whatever that means to you, and however it comes to you, it'll either mean something to you or not. So there's a need for you to face your fears. He's asking me to tell you the number. The numbers I have around you is 1 and 8. So it's new beginnings, which require courage. 8 is number of courage and number of strength. But it's strength gained and strength, what's the word I want to use? Strength gained and strength applied. Is that how I want to? There's another word that I'm using that I want to use. There's a need to assert your strength to a certain degree, and you will gain strength from it, from whatever situation you're dealing with, whatever that means to you. And it comes to the number 9. Well, 9 is letting things go. They're not necessarily completions, but they are endings in some way. What does this mean? Define the difference. To me, completion is when we complete our journey with some aspect of our lives and we emotionally disconnect. I don't like the word disconnect. I'm just going to say emotionally we are no longer fueled by that situation. So we hold no anger, no resentment. We have no ill feelings. We have no sentiments that are not good for us. Whatever it is that is taking our energy, when we separate ourselves from that and we do not give energy to it any longer, to me, that is a form of completion. I don't think that's the case for you yet. And because we can separate, we can let go of a relationship, but emotionally we might still be attached. We may let go of a job, but we may still emotionally be attached. We may let go of a person, but emotionally we may still be attached. So this is a journey, and yes, it's time of letting go. And then I said, what is the one thing that I really need them to know? You have the Oyster. The Oyster is about allowing things to come to light. So again, it's the theme of what are you not seeing? What are you not choosing not to see? What are you choosing not to express? I also want to say, allow yourself to the freedom of compassion. What does that mean? Oftentimes, we will be compassionate to others, but we will not be very compassionate to ourselves. And that will hold us back because we will be much harsher on ourselves than anybody else. We will be very critical. And those are all things that are not self-loving towards ourselves. And those are things that will prevent you from shining. And if we don't feel very good about ourselves, we will therefore not allow others to see our light. So this is about letting your light come out. And when we hide, we can't do that. And when we don't face our fears, we cannot see our light, or we cannot have our light be seen. One of the metaphors that's coming forward is, that was given to me by Spirit not that long ago, face the darkness to see the light. So I'll let you ponder on that. It shows me that you are in transition. You've got the between worlds. You're in transition, and this is no time for guarantees, though. So things may not work out the way you have hoped, though they will work out for the better for the most part. And last but not least, I think I already talked about this card. Really important for you to choose to be happy. Choose to be happy, and that's where gratitude comes in. And I'm also seeing the rose once again. It's being given to me as a symbol, whatever symbology you hold around the word rose. For some of it's very sacred word or sacred flower. For others of you will mean different things. And I think that's all I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Of course, please remember this is general reading, so do listen to your other signs. Thank you so much for watching, for sharing, for liking. This will probably make no sense to you at the beginning, or it might, but generally it does at the end. So listen to it once again towards the end of the month. Thank you again so much for private sessions. Of course, that information is down below for you. Thank you again, and best of luck.